Biden's plan aims to speed up vaccines and help those struggling during the pandemic.
And so tonight, I'd like to talk to you about our way forward. A two-step plan of rescue and recovery. A two-step plan to build a bridge to the other side of the crisis we face to a better, stronger, more secure America. Tonight, I'll lay out my first step.
Biden's plan calls for billions for vaccines and bigger stimulus checks for Americans. Under the plan, $400 billion would go towards fighting the pandemic, with the majority of the money being economic relief and aids for states and localities. Also included are $1,400 stimulus checks, on top of the $600 checks from the recent relief bill.
Our rescue plan also includes immediate relief to Americans hardest hit and most in need. We will finish the job of getting a total of $2,000 in cash relief to people who need it the most. The $600 already appropriated is simply not enough. You just have to choose between paying rent and putting food on the table.
Biden says this money is needed now more than ever, as the latest government figures Thursday showed more than 1 million people looking for unemployment assistance from the government.
Countless families and friends left behind with unrelenting grief and guilt, anger and frustration. And the emptiness felt by the loss of life is compounded by the loss of our way of life.
Mark Hamrick of Bankrate told CBN's Faith Nation the new government jobless claims shows the economy still needs help.
And so on the one hand, it shouldn't be terribly surprising because the pandemic is the cause of the downturn, but it can still be shocking. And so that's why it's all the more urgent that the president-elect and elected officials in Washington get to work soon on the next round of stimulus legislation.
Biden's plan also calls for $130 billion to help most schools reopen by spring. Many schools have already done so, and Virginia's Governor Ralph Northam says his state's data indicates that schools can open again with the proper safety standards. But the political outlook in Congress for Biden's plan remains unclear. Republicans are likely to object to certain parts of it, while some Democrats could say it doesn't go far enough. Ben Kennedy, CBN News.
Well, I'm concerned about the proposals I'm hearing, and my biggest concern is sending stimulus checks to people who have jobs. And if you're employed, do we really need to increase our national deficit? Are we creating future problems in some kind of vain effort to solve the current problem? But for those who are unemployed, those who are facing eviction, those who are facing foreclosure, let's do whatever we can to help them. I'm somewhat of an amateur photographer, and last night, of all things, I saw an eagle. And I wanted to show you that picture. Here's an eagle perched at the end of a pier. And that's the raw photo because I want you to see the colors in the water. And when you get close to it and you get the close-up shot, there is an eagle. She's facing left, or on her right, her feather's a little ruffled. But in the water is the red, white, and blue. And this photo really encouraged me. The Republic still stands. The flag still waves over the Capitol. We've had a great deal of turmoil. I fully anticipate there's going to be a great deal of turmoil and division in Congress, certainly over the next 100 days and probably over the next 4 years. But the Republic still stands, and we should all be encouraged with that, and we should all pray for America, that somehow we can see a way through all the division and see our way to say we're one nation. And we're under God, and we're indivisible. There are a lot of different voices in the world today, in our country today, asking for more division, more strife. No, let us come together and realize our way of letting our voice be heard as in the ballot box. And there's another election, and it will happen in 2 years, and we get to have our voices heard then.